So I get it. To even get to this point is such a huge part of the journey. You know, you've already considered moving away from something that they know very well, that's their safe zone, that is just their comfort area. Even getting to this far part down the process has been a journey, has been a challenge for them. But now it gets real. Now we're out of the world of theory, of this could be an interesting thing, let's explore it. Now we're down to crunch time. Now we're down to official cut bait. I always like that phrase. It's like, now is the time to do it or to not, which is where the ghosting happens. And ghosting can happen for a number of different reasons. There can absolutely be fear of failure, which is, what if I do this? What if I leap? What if I, move away from everything that I know, that regular paycheck that can be so comforting? Because, whether you show up that much that month or not, you're still going to get your baseline paycheck. So there can be a fear of failure, of what's that going to be? But actually, the thing that people don't realize, the actual more significant fear is the fear of success. Because how did you learn about success? You learn about success probably from your current boss. Now let's just imagine that your current boss, you don't look up to in a way and admire everything about that person. You might admire a part of them. You might say, actually, I want to make what they make. But you don't admire the hours that they work. You don't admire their work-life balance, or work-life blend as I call it. So you want it, but equally your subconscious mind knows that you don't want all of it. And that's where the fear of success comes in, because your mind is going, it's heard all those little conversations that you've had, all those times that you've gone, they're the last one in the office, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be working weekends, I don't want to be checking emails, I don't want to be taking calls from clients. Your subconscious mind has heard that. It's stored each of those little pieces of information. So now when you're consciously going, this is a great idea, I should do this, by the way, your unconscious mind wins every time. Your subconscious mind is so powerful. You can never consciously make a decision. So your unconscious mind is going, I know you're telling me you want to do this, but actually you don't. Actually, you don't want to do this thing that you want so much. So what happens? We stop self-sabotaging. Self-sabotaging. What do? You're asked for your business plan. Suddenly you're really busy. You'll create clients in your current role so you don't have time to do it. That's a positive way of self-sabotaging. You're creating a positive impact in your current role. See, we don't need to move, I'm really good here. That's one way you can do it. Another way, you go, actually, I've done my business plan, I've now sent it in, but I'm not going to check my emails. Now I'm going to get really busy again. I'm not going to see that thing that I haven't answered, or I'm not going to pay the next appointment to follow up. Because then you can't hide anymore. You can't hide anymore from the business plan, you can't hide from the next step, because you have to make a decision. And so that fear of success can actually be just stopping you in your tracks. The unknown is something that you have never conceived of. So we're using it from different parts about the world that we might consider to be reality. So when Walt Disney says, if you can dream it, you can do it, that is completely wrong. Because if you can't dream it, how on earth can you do it? Because if you've never been your own boss before, if you've never done anything like this before, then all you are picking like pieces of evidence is again from your current boss, is again from people you've seen on TV or movies or in the papers. The reality, you don't know. So when you're trying to dream what's it going to be like to run my own business, then you're like a big question mark, this big hole going, I don't know. How do you get through it? Because that's going to be the next question. That always is when someone says to me, great, that's awesome, Laura, what next? What do I do next? We use a term called modeling, very much in coaching. We use it with children again, once we're over 7, we model. So we model how to be in the world. Find some amazing resources to model how to be your own boss, how to have a great work-life blend or balance, whichever your chosen language is, how to have impact in the world, how to still have passion, how to create successful businesses. Find someone that you really admire and model. Again, reach out to people you've been talking to, and they can give you true insight as to what it's to be like to be your own boss, not any of this BS, because there is so much BS out there about what it's like to be your own boss. Running my own company, again, you know what it's like really. And that's how you can start to fill in these missing gaps around this dream that you're trying to create. So those questions that you've got right now, what's it like? What's your quit day like? So when I get asked with my clients, what's your quit day like? Remember my quit day. The world didn't stop. I thought it should do. I thought like you hand in your resignation, you're like, you've been like really tense about it, you do it and you go, okay, I'll just go back to what I was doing then because, okay, nothing stopped. What's it like the first time you don't get your first proper paycheck? It's brilliant. It's scary, it's terrifying, it's exciting, it's exhilarating, all of those things. So break it down to the different parts that you're actually scared of. That's how the mind, your unconscious mind, can start to help you. A really simple exercise, and this isn't just for this decision, it could be for any decision. What will your future self say to you? So you're making the decision from your current state, where everything that you know in the world, what's happening for you. Go out and ask yourself in 3 years' time, will you be annoyed that you didn't follow through, or will you be really happy? Then go out another couple of years, go to 5 years, and then say, okay, now do I wish I'd set up on my own? Or am I gonna then go, things are all right now, but actually in 5 years' time, I'm gonna go, why didn't I do this sooner? And what about 10 years' time? You know, what is the plan for the rest of your life? Do you want to build a company? What's that person? You know, if we talk about retirement age, what are they gonna think? Are they gonna be sat there going, I really wish I'd sent that business plan in, or I really wish I'd had the next call, or are you gonna go, do you know what, actually it's okay. Ask your future self, they have the answer. We've talked about fear of success and fear of failure. And if you've watched this so far, there will be things that are already coming to your mind that are very personal for you, that only you know what you're actually scared of. And a really simple exercise is to write down on a blank piece of paper, by the way, blank as big as you can. If you've got a whiteboard, I love a whiteboard, they're even better. What am I scared of? Put 2 columns, success and failure. And write down on every little thing, even the most ridiculous one that you're thinking to yourself, that's the one I'm not going to tell anybody because I'm kind of embarrassed to say that one. I can say things like paycheck because it's okay, no one's going to judge me. But actually, I'm really worried, and I've had this from a previous client. This is why I'm going to use it as an example. I'm really worried because a teacher told me at school I was really bad at maths and I should never do anything like this with maths. So now that little voices in your head is going, but I need to do all my own books. I need to understand tax. I need to understand VAT and corp tax and get an accountant. And how am I going to do it? If that's yours, whatever it might be for you, write it down, because it loses some power in the unconscious mind, because it's not in the unconscious mind now, it's in the conscious. In the decision that you're now looking at, whether to set up on your own or not, for the majority of people, this is not going to be a decision that only impacts you. It's going to impact other people in your life. That could be your significant other, that could be your children, that could be people that you are a carer to, that could be your wider community. There are other people involved in this decision, and there are probably other people who've already got an opinion on this decision. So it's really important to understand, actually, if you leave a conversation with this team and you are having those conversations with other people, what are they asking you? What is their advice? And whether someone loves us and how much they love us, they have a bias because their unconscious mind is driving them. So they have a bias. If their bias is that they want to be safe, they're going to be asking specific questions around how safe is this option. So what do? Well, I want you to go away and think about actually every question that someone you love or someone who's in your wider world is asking you about this. Why would you leave your secure job? Are you having a midlife crisis? You know, all of these little things that come into judgment in our society, find out what they are. And then be really aware. Is your fear around not taking the next step, is it your fear, or is it somebody else's fear that you've borrowed? So it's somebody else's narrative or question that you've just tried on like a hat and gone, ooh, that one's good. And your subconscious mind, because if you've got fear of success or fear of failure, has gone, let me put that one on, because I've put that one on, that's my like nuclear, I'm not going to move forward. They've asked that question that's going to keep me stuck. And then go ahead and write them down. And then come and ask the team. Come and ask them those specific questions, because they can help with all of the answers here. And actually, you can go back to your loved ones, you can go back to your family, you can go back to your friends with the answer, because you're going to have to actually defend your position, defend your choice in your own mind as well as to others. Well, how can it manifest? First of all, it's a slightly obscure theory, but it's called three brain thinking, that we have three brains. So you have a head, heart, and a stomach brain. We make different decisions, and most of us make decisions with our big old head brain. We try and logic our way through it. I think, so if you find you're saying language like, I think this is a good thing to do, you're using this, wonderful. I feel that this is the right move for me, wonderful. And I get even more excited now because we're now using your other two minds, your other two brains are kicking in. And what you will find is people will try and logic the what not out of this decision. Like, it doesn't make logical sense. Logically, let's stay in this job, I'm near my pension, I should do all these other things that I've got going around here. But somewhere there's a feeling in you that goes, I know it makes logical sense, but if you are saying it makes logical sense, but you don't even need to know what the but is, then you need to do the inner work, because there's the other parts of you that are screaming at you, don't listen to this. Now, why do we? In a Western world, if you were at school and said, I don't feel that I should do my ABCs today, or I don't feel I should do that, whatever it is, we're told to no. Logically think through everything. So that is we have phrases like, gut instinct, or, when people say, oh, my gut feeling was that this person wasn't a great hire, or my gut feeling, what does your gut feeling tell you? If nothing else, take out this. Does your gut feeling tell you that this is an opportunity that you really want to do, even if you're scared? Or is your gut feeling that this isn't right for you? And if so, why? Then go into your head brain.